Hey, Damion, what's up, man?
What's going on? Not from New York. Good afternoon.
That's what's up. I appreciate you so much for accepting our invite to do this podcast. Thank you.
Thank you for reaching out. I appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. And check this out. I'm going to try to, well, I'm not going to make a promise to our the viewers and listeners, but I'm going to give you a reason to stick around even more. From checking out Anthony, super excited, by the way, to talk to you. It seems like you may have found a secret or a recipe to success. So it's my hope that after this, or by the end of this podcast, we'll find out what that is and stuff. So check this out. You're from Kingston originally, right?
Yes, born in Jamaica, but raised in the Bronx.
That's what's up. How did that happen? Why'd you guys leave Jamaica and come here?
Well, I mean, I was a little kid. It wasn't my choice per se. Mm-hmm. But, you know, my family migrated to America, you know, in the late 80s, you know, and I came in and, you know, went through the school system up here. I'm more American than anything, to be honest, as much as I travel back to my country, but the roots and everything sticks with me, you know, from the culture, the lifestyle, the food, the music, you know, it's all there. So I'm pretty much, I think I'm the only one in my family who probably kind of lost the accent along the way. It comes in and out. It's there through the music, but casually it's in and out on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I said, yeah, I don't hear an accent and stuff. But regardless. Now check this out. I noticed that your music, you mentioned that you have a Spanish flair, or there's a Spanish aspect to the music. Yeah. Where's that come from?
Honestly, it's really the features. I was doing a televised show with the Manhattan Neighborhood Network in Manhattan, in New York City, and I was just a guest performer on there, and a Latina artist who was hosting the event was fond of my single, which I performed at the show, and for some reason, you know, she wanted to collaborate with me, and you know, shout out to Inez L. She's officially like my best friend now, which is crazy, and I told her no. I was like, no. I said, no, I don't want to collaborate. I don't want to do it. I just want to, you know, I don't know if it would make sense. But she was like, no. I love the song. She couldn't get it out of her head. She said, you know, she would exercise and listen to it at the gym. And for some reason, I spoke to my management at the time, my former manager. And, you know, we agreed to just let her do it. And then when I heard it and how the producer mixed it, I was like, oh, my God, it had a Spanish. Like she was singing in her native language while I was doing mine in my tongue. And for some reason, it clicked. And then when people heard it, it kind of picked up, especially when performing live. So from that point on, the domino effect happened. Like the Latin community started booking us for shows, and they thought we were a very unique and different style to their set and to their stage shows, and we just ran with it from there.
That's what's up. You know, I don't know if you can say it's kind of two things. One, why didn't you want to do that collab? And then the second thing, before I forget, is this how you got hooked up with, I think it's the New York Mexican Festival? I think that's what it is.
Well, yeah. I didn't want to collab because I was a new artist and I didn't really have my album out. And that was one of my first original songs. And I kind of wanted to own it myself and just see if I can push it without having somebody jump on it, because everybody, I feel like in this industry, because I'm a new artist, I haven't debuted to the world stage yet. I'm going through artist development, so you're catching me fresh off through the development stages right now. The reason why everything has been successful right now is because I kind of I did everything in the old school way, and like I kind of did like the old fashioned way. I didn't depend on social media. I kind of just jumped on that bus and just went up and down the coast and performed live everywhere I can. And just like develop fans through that way of doing live stage shows. I went on social media to, you know, get followers and stuff like that, but I feel like for every show I did, when there was like 5,000 people, 200 would follow, you know what I mean? And me and Inez just did a lot of shows. Like we did shows like 68 to 70 shows a year.
Whoa.
In front of thousands of people, and I think that's how we built up our social media for the most part in that old school way. But that's pretty much how that happened in regards to, you know, how things progressed and developed. But as far as everything else, I mean, the song based on the show that we did, it was a lot of Latin festivals and events, and the promoters liked it. the DJs that would DJ the event would keep our music. And I guess, you know, what happened was it started circulating in the record pool. You know, like every genre has like a record pool or a, and I was learning these things as I was going along.
Exactly.
And they would play it all over the United States. Then the next thing you know, they're playing it in like Mexico, they're playing it in Argentina. And the song wasn't even released on social media or on Spotify, Tidal, or iTunes, but the DJs were played at the club. So, you know, that's how things picked up and progressed with the single.
Wow, we've learned quite a few things to listeners and viewers out there. We've learned some things already. First of all, hard work, a lot of hard work. I hear like afterwards, I think you're going to be doing some rehearsing and practicing and recording afterwards.
Yeah, well, so as a dancehall Caribbean artist, like, because I do pop, I was influenced by the MTV culture, you know, Total Request Live, BET 106 in Park. I grew up like in the era of, you know, the Britneys and the Usher and, you know, and Michael and I love dancehall music. So I didn't want to separate the two. When I decided to pursue music, I decided to try to fuse the two together and make it a fusion. And I did my homework and my research because I'm a theater kid. I grew up doing musicals, off-Broadway shows, and shout out to the Amas Musical Theater. If you don't know what that is, it's a theater academy that trains young kids to do, you know, Broadway shows and musicals and, you know, preps them for the, you know, for the theater world. Right. If you watch Family Matters, the Steve Urkel show, Family Matters.
I remember that.
Grandma Winslow, Carl's mother, it's her company. Her name is Rosetta Lenore. She founded the company, and, you know, she takes young kids from all different backgrounds and grooms them, and her team trains them to learn how to theater etiquette, sing, dance, acting. And I did that. And I trained through that company and through that agency. And I also trained through the Lee Strasbourg Theater and Film Institute. I got a full scholarship through New York City Housing Authority through one of their programs.
Wow.
And that's how I started learning and developing my skill. So once I got all of that under my belt and learned how to just kind of work the stage, I've decided what's going to make me different. Like, because every artist is a singer, dancer, entertainer, actor, but what makes you different? And I realized, you know, in the Caribbean culture particularly, like, you know, we have dancers and the girls run around, roll on the floor, head top, bust a split, do all that cool stuff. Shaggy, Sean Paul, they make great music. They're one of my biggest influences when it comes to the scene. But I noticed that in the Caribbean culture, they don't have their own version of like Michael or Usher or Britney or J-Lo. They don't do choreography and perform in a way that the mainstream pop stars and the, you know, the other artists sing that are entertainers. So I said, I can do that. I can just clean it up and kind of give it a nice, clean stage show and a clean routine. And maybe that'll make me stand out, because it's hard to stand out and stick out in a world where there's so much talent and so much great, you know, entertainers out there. So, you know, that's where my niche is in regards to being a live performer. I do choreography. I keep it with my dancers. You know, the girls still bug out and have fun, but we keep everything nice and clean. I think dancehall needs to kind of get more respect, because I feel like we don't get that stage performance. You don't see us on the Billboard Awards, the BET Awards. We'll get a little segment every now and then, a couple of years, but we're never best reggae artist is and best dance. Like, we're not televised. We're not put on the world stage the way the hip hop artists and the rappers are. I feel like, you know, we love the music in the club. People bump reggae and dance all in the car, but when do you get to see us on stage performing with like J-Lo and Usher and Diddy and everybody else? They don't. I feel like we're neglected sometimes by the industry.
Yeah, but I got a feeling that's going to change when they get a view of you. Now, it's a couple of things interesting that you mentioned. One of the questions I wanted to ask you was about, you said it was Amas, that was the place we studied at?
Amas Musical Theater, yeah.
Yeah, actually looked that up. I missed the part about the family. Who was it? Family Matters of Urkel? Yeah. Rosetta, yeah, I missed that part, but I was curious about how you had gotten into dancing. I mean, I grew up, you know, in the hood myself.
Well, I got into it through, I was in high school and I was in the chorus. And, you know, my chorus teacher, you know, shout out to Tyrone Stanley. He was my chorus teacher, and he was a big influence on, you know, getting all the kids together and keeping them out the streets. And he would, you know, submit us for a lot of shows and competitions. And we did Cablevision, Showtime, you know, we did like he traveled and stuff, so he got to be a part of the musical directive. I think it was the musical director or the, you know, one of the composers of the program, and he brought me in and introduced me to the program. Although he left, I stuck around and stayed and developed it from there and got trained with a lot of actors and a lot of dance instructors that kind of, you know, helped me develop my talent and my skill. Because I don't think I'm like gifted. I wasn't born a singer, dancer, actor. Mm-hmm. One of my skill set is just learning things very fast. So that's pretty much how I developed everything and turned it into a big talent. But I was never a singer. I was never a dancer. I was never an actor. I just learned very fast, and I just studied and studied until I got it right. And that's pretty much how it worked.
Wow, that's an incredible revelation, because judging from your videos, I would never guess that. You look like a natural. That's
yeah, I wish I was. There's a lot of my backup singers and all these people around me. They don't take classes. They don't do anything. It's just like a gift from God. That's why I differentiate gifted and talented. Gifted, even though you still practice and still keep your stuff going, it's just a natural thing they knew how to do without training. Mm-hmm. But talent, you got to stay on top of it. You got to, you know, even if you work out or exercise, you got to, if you stop doing it, what's going to happen?
Yeah. Boy, yeah, I resemble that remark. Yes, no, I understand completely. Hey, check this out. Well, once again, referring your videos. All right, tell me if this is a fair assessment. This is just me and my opinion, though. Looking at your videos, I said, man, this guy's super talented. If I had to come up with one word to describe Damion Anthony, I figured the word would be entertaining. You agree or disagree?
I thank you. That's what I'm aiming for. You know, I'm aiming to entertain and put a smile on everyone's faces. You know, you don't have to be the best singer or best dancer in the world, but if you could get somebody to just watch your show and enjoy what you do, that's pretty much the goal. I want them to like the music. I want them to be in the moment. You know, everyone has a heart with things going on now. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody's going through things. But just for that moment in time when you see me on stage, I want you to enjoy the show. You might say, you know, he's not the best vocalist or the best, he's not like Luther Vandross or anything, but he had me sitting at the edge of my seat going, woo, I enjoyed that performance. And, you know, if you love the singing and don't like the dance, at least you like something. I want to come with every element that they can at least say they like my set. You know, even if it's just, oh, his costumes were great. Whatever it is, I want to put on a show and make people feel good and enjoy and forget what they got going on just for the moment. Mm-hmm. I think you definitely achieved that, but judging from the videos I've seen. Matter of fact, it kind of reminded me of Jay-Z a little bit. When you was outside, you know how they have those outdoor events you see somewhere down New York City and stuff, they'll be singing outside and stuff. Yeah. And when I saw you performing outside, you know, the dancers, that's what reminded me. I was like, oh, wow, look at this. This is great. Do you recall where you were at for the outdoor event where you was out? It seemed like you was out in the city streets or something. Well, it depends, because I do a lot of outdoor festivals and events. We do so much like outdoor concerts and summer stages. Most of them are outdoors. They could be pride events. They could be like hip hop concerts. I've gotten to do a lot of shows and open up for quite a few people, which is great. But New York is very infamous and big for doing a lot of outdoor events, so I can't narrow it down.
Understood.
Yeah. But I started off. I'm not gonna lie though. I did start off just being a regular performer. I would like performing like family festivals like that the neighborhoods would throw, and we would dance and perform for the local neighborhood family day events, and then one thing led to the next, and you know, I just started getting calls to go. You know, when you do one show, someone sees it, they recommend you to another show, and then it just kind of built up until I got on bigger stages and got lucky and blessed to do more shows, more and more.
Yeah, regardless, wherever those things was, I was blown away by it. It was very exciting. It was, I don't want to call it a spectacle, but hey, it was something to watch.
I like to put on shows. I like to have my backup dancers, and I like to you know, I like to dance. Like I like to perform and try to keep up and do as best as I can. It's not easy, but you know, it's worth it, because the energy that the audience gives me, you know, makes me want to put on a better show each time I step out on stage. I'm more shy with less people than more, to be honest with you. So,
yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Like a one-on-one, it's yeah,
I'm a shy person. Like once I'm off stage, I'm very shy. Like when I get on stage, I turn into a different character, and it's just, it's fun. So, yeah.
Yeah. This performing thing, I mean, I just love it and stuff. The way you can see a transformation in some people, like you were saying, like off stage is shy, but then when you get on stage, that same shy person turns into like a dynamo. I mean, I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I like how I feel when I get on stage. It's not. I think it's about how I feel. Like I don't consider myself once again to be the best at what I do, but I like how I feel when my voice comes out and when I'm doing the routine and remember the routine and keeping up with everyone on stage. And when I look at the audience and see how they're giving me the feedback or how they're just like stuck looking at what we're doing, it makes me, I just turn into this different person. And it makes me feel like like I'm a kid again in my room, jumping around, dancing and pretending I'm at the Grammys or something. It just makes me, it doesn't get old at all. It's always exciting every time.
Wow. And check this out, while I'm thinking about it, could tell people where can they find some of your work at?
Well, that's the thing. So you caught me at a critical stage right now. I'm under management. Shout out to Randy Connor. If you don't know who Randy Connor is, he's my manager. And he's well known for working with Puff Daddy, Little Kim, Mace. One of his big projects that I love is when he worked with Britney Spears. If you don't know who he is, if you remember Britney Spears Hit Me Baby One More Time, he worked with her he was her creative director. He trained her. He did the choreography for Hit Me Baby One More Time. That was his work. And then he moved on to other projects after that single happened, and worked with a lot of artists from Janet to a whole bunch of other people. But, I was like, Britney Spears, I was like, oh my God, I grew up watching Britney Spears and her hit single, and this man was like behind working with her and grooming her until she made her debut. And now he's working with me, which I'm excited about. So,
wow.
I feel like I'm under good company.
Oh no, yeah, you're doing well. Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned Britney. I think I'm like so far behind, one of the last people to realize that she was very talented. Just recently, perhaps a month ago, I was watching just videos. I like to check out music. And I saw a video of her dancing, the choreography in particular. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know Britney was that nice. She has some really good dance routines.
Yeah, well, she's best known for that. I mean, she has a unique voice particularly, but yeah, she's an entertainer through and through. And, to be working with people that work with her makes me feel a little more confident in where I'm going, because I'm also working with the management team. Calvin Stevens, he's great too. He's a good creative director. He works with a lot of Latin artists, particularly. That's why I'm in the Latin field right now, due to my 2 Latin features that I have, one with Inez and another one with another male Latin artist. And the Spanish community pretty much embraced me more than the Caribbean community in regards to like Jamaica. Like Jamaica don't know I exist right now per se. But a lot of the, Black Americans are picking up on what I'm doing, and hopefully it'll like trickle over at some point. But the Spanish community, they're like, I'm at their parades, I'm at their festivals, I'm at their award shows. They love the uniqueness that I have with this Latina artist. And, she's from Honduras. She's Honduran mix, Venezuelan, Honduran, and she got the swirl basically going on. And she's an amazing person.
Now I got a question for you while I have you here. First of all, thank you to your management team, because I don't know how much control they have, but at least you here. So sometimes, management say, hey, maybe we want you to do that, maybe we want you to do that.
They're cool with everything right now.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all. Now, the other thing I was thinking about, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, because I know you got practice and stuff.
Yeah, no, we got time. Don't worry.
All right. Yeah. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, since as of right now, you don't have things for people that I know of, feeling check out, and they're all going to be curious about you.
Right now, what I have to promote and show is my music, and my album is going to be released later this year. It's just technical stuff behind the scenes, but I'm doing a lot of live shows. But what I do is I have my own television show on Optimum and Verizon Fios. It's on Cablevision, and for those that can't locally find it, there is a link on my website, www.damion with the O, DamionAnthony.com. And you guys can stream in and watch all the prior episodes leading up to what's recent now. We're still filming because everything was pre-COVID, and we're catching the viewers up to my development and my artistry now. But right now it's called Damion Anthony, The Grind of an Indie Artist. And it's on Optimum and Verizon Fire, on Cablevision. And you guys can tune in and check it out. If you go to my Instagram, Damion Anthony Official, you can get the link on my bio as well. And that'll catch you up to speed with everything. Live performances, behind the scenes, drama situations that nobody should be really seeing. Pretty much let it out there for people to see.
Oh, that's what's up. And check this out. Who does the writing for these songs? Do you do that?
Well, so far, I wrote every original song that I have is mine. I wrote it. All the beats that are produced, I own them. I literally copyright everything. I try to do my homework very, very well because I wasn't raised and groomed in Hollywood. And upon watching a lot of documentaries and reading up on how things work in the industry, one thing I pride myself into is just trying to make sure I own everything. And if I do have to, divide it or give it up, it'll be to my discretion. But I own everything that I have. Every single song that you hear, that's an original. It's all mine, all written by me. If I get a beat from an amazing producer, because I've worked with producers from Greece, some of the beats are from Greece, from Panama, some are from Jamaica, some are from, here in America. I exclusively save up my money and buy the beats myself. So the producers don't even own it anymore. It's all mine, and I can do whatever I want. Like, I can resell it, do whatever, but I take pride in owning everything because, at this day and age, with technology and social media and the competition, you don't want to be left out of anything when it develops and grows. You want at least to have a small part of each pie when things take off. And I don't want to be left in the cut going broke.
Understood.
Because I look at the business, I'm all about entertaining, but I hate the business side of things too, you know what I mean? But you want to be prepared for it.
Yeah, tell me about it and stuff. Yeah, I love the creativity aspect of everything, but the business side, but it's necessary. It's necessary. Now, one thing I did want to ask you, matter of fact, I'll probably ask you afterwards. It's just pertaining to maybe a 1 or 2 second clip when we do this video, when we edit the video, and perhaps we could put in just a second or two of you singing, dancing or something, just so people can see what we're talking about. But since you own everything, it should be okay, I guess. I don't know. But anyhow, stuff. I'm sorry, were you about to say something?
No. Go ahead. Sorry, I was talking to what you were saying. I have that for you. I have clips of everything that you can show. I'll send it to you, and when you edit it, you could piece them in. I'll send you some clips and everything. Okay.
Yeah, I do have the stuff that you sent me via email.
Yes. That was for you to view. The video, the 2 music videos were pre-recorded. They're not released yet for anyone to see for the most part.
Understood. I'll leave that alone then. Okay.
Yeah. So, but what I'll do is I'll send you some clips of them so you can kind of
Understood. I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't just go to do that, because I try not to play people close like that. So, all right. So I'm glad I did the way I did. Woo! Crisis averted, so to speak. So anyhow, stuff. Let's see, what else did we want to cover? I think we covered just about everything with you. Like I said, don't want to take up too much time, and I know you said you had time. Trying to think, was there anything else that we didn't cover?
Anything you want to know, just ask. I mean, I'm pretty much open to anything that needs to be said. I mean, I like to travel. I like to do a lot of shows. Like I said, you caught me at a critical time because I'm a new artist right now. I'm gonna make my debut. Hopefully by next year, I'll be able to make my debut. So you're catching me more so behind the scenes than anything else. So music will be released towards the end of the year, but my music is a mixture of pop, dancehall, and reggae. It's a fusion, and hopefully it's unique. And the album is called Idiosyncratic, which means different, unique, weird, quirky, anything that's in that realm. And I own it. I like to be different. I think everybody should embrace their weirdness and uniqueness and differences, and try to stand out from everyone else.
I'm glad you said that. That's on my About Me page. On Facebook, if you read my About Me, that's exactly what it says. I'm weird. Matter of fact, I said it from the beginning. I'm weird.
With it. Everybody, because words are very, they're very delicate. It's like everybody, when you say, oh, you're so unique, everybody's like, yeah, you know, they own it. But when you go, oh, you're so different, they're like, what do you mean? It's the same thing. You know, so I try not to get offended by things that people say. Like if they say, oh, he's so different, he's weird, like, okay, well, you know, that means I'll stay in my own lane and I won't have competition, and I'll, you know, at least I'll be memorable in some sense that I hope to be. Okay. But you know, because I do what I do, but I love culture and the dynamics of how music is in general, because I'm a dancehall artist and I love Spice, I love Shensia, I love Lady Saw. You know, I grew up listening to them and Maka Diamond and Beanie Man and Elephant Man and all these amazing artists that rep the culture so well. But at the same time, I love like Celine Dion, Luther Vandross, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, you know. So it's eclectic. Yeah, it varies. I love music because and I grew up in theater, so I love Broadway musicals and Disney, and you know, you'll see me in street clothes, but I'll be at Carnegie Hall or something, or watching the opera or the symphony orchestra. I love that stuff. Right.
Now check this out. We're getting down to it. I got a notification from Zoom. To let us know about the time constraints. Customary on the podcast, I like to ask the guests, do you have parting words of wisdom, something a message you just want to get out to the people? You got about maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
The only mantra that I go by that I always tell the team, you know, is when you work with someone, it's one team, one unit. You know, there might be a front runner, there might be someone in charge, but it takes a group of people to make things happen. I don't like when artists, and this is not to downplay any artist, period. I just don't like it when they say, I'll do this by myself, I struggle, no one helped me. People help you. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that you gotta thank. You gotta thank the producers, you gotta thank the dancers, the makeup artists, the people who gotta iron your shirt. You gotta, you know, it takes a whole unit to make things work. But the biggest thing that I always wanna share with everyone before I part ways is always chase the dream, not the competition.
So don't compare yourself to others.
Yeah, like don't, you know, everybody is always competing with each other to be the best, to be better, but just focus on your dream. Like there's space for everyone. You know, if you focus on what the other person got going on or how they might upstage you or how they might be better than you, then you're not gonna go anywhere. You're gonna just focus on what they got going on rather than just having your tunnel vision to do what you gotta do. Embrace your uniqueness, you know what I mean? There's always gonna be somebody better. There's always gonna be someone, you know, I'm not one for participation trophies. First is first, second is second, third is third. It's okay. You know, you learn from your mistakes and you'll learn how to just develop and enhance your skill. If I didn't watch other people who are particularly better than me, I wouldn't have learned how to step my game up or learn how to actually push myself even more because I saw that, you know, I need to work harder. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of, you know, I chase a dream now and not the competition. I'm not here to wrestle or compete with anyone. So that's pretty much what I go by.
Understood.
And I also want to give an amazing shout out to Nika Gooden.
Yeah, Nika Gooden, yes.
Yes, I want to give her a shout out. Shout out to her Artist Biz.
Yes, Artist Biz Solutions magazine, yes.
Yes. She had me in as on her December cover. I never did a magazine cover before. It was my first, because I'm not a model. Like I'm like 5'7". You know, I'm a muscular, thick guy. You know, like, but she loved my photos. She loved my stories, and I'm so grateful to her because she made me feel, you know, special. She made me feel wanted. She made me feel like an artist. And shout out to her. You got to check her page out. You got to check her work out. She's an amazing person, and check out the article. My magazine is there if you want to tune in and scroll back on the website as well. Also, shout out to my dancers, Shidan, who's from Israel, Imiko, who is from Japan, and Dante, who's from New York. My dancers are from all over. So shout out to them. They're very unique and they have their own style. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. My mother and my father, happily married.
Oh, that's what's up. We're saying goodbye to everybody and stuff. All right. Everybody, once again, sadly, at the conclusion of the podcast, once again, we thank Damion Anthony for joining us. And we thank you guys for joining us. And we remind you to check out our previous YanBar Podcast guests. And always to remember that the YanBar Podcast is a place where you make it happen. Once again, I'm here with Damion Anthony. Be sure to check him out. And my name is Bryan Barcelo, host of this episode. Peace, everybody.
Thank you. Enjoy your weekend, guys.